Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be looking at circles. Okay, so this is going to be M7 lesson, and if I pull up my notes here, this is lesson 7-6, titled Circles. Okay, so go ahead and title your paper right now, or your notes. This is a pretty cool, I love circles for a number of reasons. They're so unique, and it happens to be that we are entering into the month of the pi day of a century, and pi is a very, very important number in geometry, especially when we're talking about circles. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so there's a couple of key ideas and vocabulary that are going to be crucial to our understanding circles today. So let's go ahead and begin. I am going to start by drawing a line on my paper. I'm just going to draw a line like that. Okay? And then I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to move it so that it is the distance. You don't have to do the same thing, just so you know. But I'm basically going to create a circle like so, where this was the center point. And that's how we're going to start today's. It kind of looks like a really fat whale head. If I were to put a dot here, it'd be an eye. Okay? But we're not going to have a fat whale head. It's very important that we are looking at circles today.
Wait, can you do that? I didn't see how you did it.
I drew a line.
So possible. Yeah. How did you draw it?
I drew a line by drawing a line.
Does the circle have to be any size?
It is really straight because I have a ruler.
Ow!
See how that works? You could use the compass too. See how that's got a straight edge on it? And then I made a circle. You're going to have to watch very carefully. You watch, then replicate. You don't try replicating before you see what I do. That's not going to work very well for you. Okay? So I aligned my compass up so that center point here, this slider here. Place it over top and draw it all the way around. If you can't do that, then just put your compass somewhere on your paper and draw a circle. And then put a dot in the center. Either way, you can have a circle. Then if you really want to, just draw a line between the center and the edge. So I got two fat whale heads.
Bam! I did it.
Okay?
Mine's not looking very good.
That takes practice.
What is that line that goes from the center to the outside?
Does anyone know? Anna, do you remember?
The radius?
Yeah, Anna, very good. This is called the radius.
So then what do you call the line that goes all the way around the outside?
Diameter?
Just kidding.
Circumference.
Oh,
Look at us,
nice job.
talking math. This is crazy.
All right.
Parker's showing a lot of grit back here. I didn't just hear him walking. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Okay, thanks. That's good. It's good to know that he's got lots of grit. He's a gritty young man. Small man. Gritty little man. Okay. So we have our circle, and that line that goes from the center, I'm going to draw a little arrow, and I'm going to call this the center. The line that goes from the center to the edge of our circle is called a radius.
I know what it's...
Okay?
What is the arrow say?
The arrow just says center.
Okay. I got you now.
Okay. Now, on the second circle I've drawn, I'm just going to show you, look up here. I'm going to call that center point A, and where it meets the circle, I'm going to call that B.
So you have to draw another one?
No, I just said look up here. I said you didn't have to draw that.
Oh.
But now I've repeated myself. Okay, so like I said, listen carefully. This is what we call radius. AB, you just draw a little line above it. Like so. It's a line segment. It has two endpoints. Okay, A and B. So it's a segment. That radius is the same distance no matter where you draw it in the circle. If I were to draw it here, or if I were to draw it here, or if I were to put it here, they're all radiuses. So I'll put a little R, R, R. A radius goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. Savannah.
What if it goes from the out of the circle to the other side of the circle?
Well, it depends.
The-
We're going to go through two of those in a minute. There's actually two names for it. Well, but that's a special type of something else that we have to get to. Now, if you take a look, and I draw a line from here to here. Savannah just said it. A line that goes from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle is a diameter. Is this a diameter?
No, from the middle.
Oh.
It's in the middle.
Oh, it's got to go through the middle. Well, this does have a special name. Noah Miller, do you know what it's called? It's called a chord. C-H-O-R-D. It's called a chord. Yeah. A chord is a line that touches both edges or both sides of a circle. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to draw a new circle just momentarily here. Okay. And Savannah's right. A chord that goes from one side of a circle to the other through the center point is a special type of chord called a diameter. You may, if you would like. So I've got radiuses or radii. I've got the center point. I have a chord, and I have a diameter. Does anyone have a question about any of these vocabulary terms? I'm going to make a list of them on the side for your reference. Like so. Okay. Today we're doing mostly just looking at pieces of circles, okay? If you have a blank piece of paper, I'm going to go ahead and create a center point. I'm going to draw.
How big do you want that?
I'm going to use a whole sheet of paper.
What should be using?
Well, if you want to do what I'm doing, then you're going to want to use a whole sheet of paper. I'm going to draw a figure.
Wait, so did you go the whole, like, as far out as this can go?
No, my compass looked like this when I made this. I'll put it right there so you can see it.
Did you use the little one or the, like, the far one or the first one?
Did I use the... I think I used the close one. Yeah.
On what measurement?
I didn't really use a measurement. I just
Oh, you
just randomly picked a distance.
Oh, dang it. I think I'm close.
Part of the fun of geometry is just being able to draw the images. Sometimes it's fun just to be able to create something that looks clean, crisp, that has very little numbers associated with it. I'm going to call this center C. I'm going to call the point right here D, E, F, G. Okay.
So we don't have to do this.
No, I mean, but you probably, I mean, if you're trying to follow along and label this, then I would recommend it for sure. Okay. All right. Here's what you're gonna do. And actually, I'm gonna draw it down like that too. That actually goes through C, but so you can see C, I've made a little break there, but there's actually going through C. You should do the next part in your notes. And this is what I would have you do. You need to find, okay, the following things. You need to find and name.
Did you erase the? Do you have a pen so you can't erase? I know, but how did you? Because you don't have that one line that goes right from the side that looks like the mouth of the whale.
That's only for that one.
I do.
Oh.
Okay, you need to find and name two radii. That's plural for radius. So you need to find two radiuses. You need to find one diameter. You need to find at least two, and I will tell you there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. You need to find two chords. And you need to find one center point. With the person next to you, try to do this in the next couple of minutes. Okay? I will give you a hint about the chord. Okay? If I were to make a list of these, I would say chords. One chord would be GF. So I would write GF, and I'd put a little line above it because it's a segment. GF is a chord from here to here. It goes from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle. Okay? Take a moment and come up with two radii, one diameter, two chords, and one center point. All you're doing is naming them. And I'll walk around and see how you're doing. And if you need to take a break, and oh no, look what I did. I listed chords, GF. If you can't read it, then move up. You need to just find them. So I found a chord, GF. There's a line from point G to point F. So that's a chord. It goes from touches one side of the circle to the other side of the circle. Nice job, yeah. Diameter. What is the diameter? Savannah came up with a great definition for it. Savannah, would you share that with us, please?
It's a line that goes straight. No, I know what it is. I thought G and F wasn't a diameter.
Really? It goes through the center of the circle? Mm-hmm.
There is no diameter.
There is a diameter.
It's hard to see, but there's no line right
There is. It's disappeared for points for that letter.
Is this right?
Let me take a look. Yeah, nice straight lines. Yeah, you too. All right, so which ones? Okay, so radii. Tell me this one. What's this one called? That's a radius, and diameter is. You don't have to use no. It would just be D. Starting point with. What's this one? Okay, and so. Yeah. 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 You might need to come over here and see Wixom's. Her diagram is amazing.
Mine's
Listen,
better.
you guys got good diagrams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let me work through it.
Wait. You can give us like 10 more seconds.
All right, I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10 it is. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to count it. You're at 8. All right, that's 10 seconds. Okay, chords. I'm going to label them all. GF is a chord, of course. Anyone got another one? Caitlin? EF is a chord. Notice it goes from point E all the way to F, from one side to the other. Where else? Anna? G, D. Yeah, this line right here is a chord. It goes from one edge of the circle to the other edge.
Like, you said there were two.
Is there 4?
You said there was 2 chords. He said you needed to find 2 of them. Not that there were.
I said, and if we replay back the recording, it'll say this. I said there are 5. I wanted you only to identify 2. I'm identifying all of them in case you guys pick different ones. Okay, that's the teacher in me is thinking I don't want to just do 2, because then someone might think that they missed one. Mackenzie, DE or ED, but not ET. No phone home.
EC, right? Because if you turn the circle a little bit, it could go right to like.
Definitely not EC, because C is at the middle and not the edge. But that is another type of something we're going to get to in just a moment. So I have GF, EF, GD, DE, and there's one more. Anna? DF. Because it goes from one edge of the circle to the other through point C. That's a special one we'll come back to in a minute. All right.
That's a chord?
It goes from one side to the other. Radii. There are 4 of these. I only had you pick 2. Hannah. DC. Nice job. And we're not talking about comics, though those are sweet too. Caitlin? CF. Yep, from the center point C to F. That's a radius. Absolutely. What else? Anna? CE. Absolutely. ICE. CE. CE right there. E. CE. Got it. ICE. CE is definitely a radius. And Lavon?
CG.
Yes. CG. Can you tell me which letter appears in all of the radiuses?
C.
C. Which means that there must be something special about C. Can anyone tell me what it is? Gretchen?
It's the.
Nice. Center point. C. Okay, and I know that's kind of hard to see. I'll move it up here a little bit. All right, last but not least, the diameter. There's one diameter. And it is what, Savannah? You know what, Savannah? That is a great guess. Stop. DCF. I could totally see how you would get that. But that's one of the reasons we're talking about this. Yes, the diameter starts at D, goes through C into F. If we were naming it as an angle, that's exactly what we would do. But when you're naming a diameter or a line segment, you only name 2 points, the beginning and end point. So, Savannah, how would you name it? DF. Nice job. DF. Yep, exactly.
Is this all we're doing today?
This is a lot of what you're doing, yes.
This is like hard.
No, it's not.
Circles for our.
Shh, hey. There are just 2 more terms we need to talk about. So I have gotten my highlighter out. I'm going to go through these with you. Shh. Okay. I'm going to bring back my first sheet for just a moment. And I want to go through one thing with you. Okay? If I have, and I'm going to just draw this in right here. If I have an angle that goes in that space right there, okay? So this is an angle. Any angle in a circle that has a vertex that is the center. Let me repeat that because there's some key vocabulary in there. I want to make sure you make the connections. Okay, so pause whatever you're doing. Listen carefully. Any angle, like this angle right here, that has its vertex where it hinges at the center of a circle is a special type of angle we call a central angle. Okay, it's a central angle. So, in theory, this is a central angle here, and this is a central angle here, and this is a central angle here, and this is a central angle here, because they all have their angle, their hinge point at the center. Elizabeth Alon?
So circles are basically made up of a lot of angles?
That's correct. Yeah. Yep. If I were to add all of these angles up, they'd equal 360 degrees. Okay? If I want to draw another central angle, I could draw a line here, and I could say that this is a central angle. I could say that this one right here, this big old angle, is a central angle. Okay? Any angle that has its center point as the center of the circle, or its vertex as the center of the circle, is a central angle. Last but not least, and you guys, I think this will probably be the easiest. I'm going to highlight this. What would you call only part of a circle from like there to there? That little bit of curved distance right there. What do you think you'd call that? Anyone? Yeah, Noah built one of these a long time ago. An arc. Yeah, an arc. Any portion of an edge of a circle is called an arc. So this here is an arc. This right here is an arc. Well, I'm not exactly sure that this is look like Noah's Ark. I have to draw a few camels. That's very fitting for today, camels and all. But exactly, I know. You got my pun. That was a nice job. You're quick wit. Nice. There's an arc.
You could be one of the doctors.
Okay, so when we are labeling arcs, so it takes me back to this sheet real quick. Basically, an arc is any distance along the edge of the circle that's between 2 points. So if I wanted to say arc GD, and I put a little arc over top of it like that, that arc would be this little distance right here. Okay? I could also say arc EF. Notice that EF. And then that arc would be between point E and F, like so. That would be arc EF. Gretchen? Could GF? GF could totally be an arc. Yeah, it'd be this distance right here. Yep. And what other really small arc is on this diagram? Jacob? DE. Nice. From point D to E along the circle right here. So in your lesson tonight, what you're going to have to do is they're going to give you a variety of diagrams, and you need to identify centers, radiuses, chords, and diameters, central angles, and arcs. I can probably assure you that most of the diagrams in your homework will be no more complicated than this. And since you guys did a really great job with this, I'm confident that you'll be able to accomplish the tasks or the homework that you have this evening. Isabella? A semicircle. A semicircle is half of a circle. So if I were to go from D to F, that is half a circle. Yep. Any other questions? That was a good question. Very good question. Okay. I'll go ahead and stop this recording. It'll be online this evening.